I'm back. One more again. The Latin assassin himself. What it do? Big Lou. NFCR2. Baby. Yeah, man. So this thumbnail, you guys might not know, probably don't know what the thumbnail is. So, anyways, let's break it down. Let me break it down. Let me enlighten y'all on what this is here. So this is an incident that happened in Las Vegas. Um, where a teacher and a student end up getting into a put shoving, lightweight shoving, slapping, and it became thrown. They start throwing blows. Um, Apparently, allegedly, uh, the student made some racial slurs to the teacher. It was a substitute teacher, by the way, and it escalated very, very quickly. So he was the teacher was arrested and was released once he appeared in front of the Clark County jail. The Clark County judge, a Clark County judge, and he was released. And with some stipulations of what not to do. One of them was stay away from the student involved. Another was to follow all laws, and the other one was, oh boy, what was the other one? I forgot, but I'll tell you when I read the article. There was three things. Yeah, it was stay away from the student involved. Um, Obey all laws, and and they couldn't return back to the school to work. And the school is called Valley High School, and this is Las Vegas. Uh, you know, the, we've seen different things over the years of not all the time teachers, but school staff members of the school, if that be security guards, counselors, not necessarily the teacher, but any other person from a different position, principals, assistant principal, vice principal, uh, you know, librarian, whatever the heck. But there are some cases where the teachers get involved as well, and for the most part, it's usually the teachers, the adults, will say it like that. The adults getting a little too jiggy with it. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Like the one that keeps coming to my mind was the security guard slamming the girl in the desk, just manhandling her like a rag doll. Which it's not right. And for the fact that they work, that's their profession. Um, this is what I mean when I talk about like police officers. That's their profession. So whatever they're going through at home, that's what they're going through at home, which every police officer is, every school teacher are human beings. Therefore, they have issues and problems just like every one of us. But when you bring your issue with you to work, that's where I have a problem. That's where most people should have a problem. That's where the individual at hand has a problem. Um, if you're all bent out of shape because what you and your wife are going through, and then you bring it to work, and first person that says something gets you mad, you snap and put hands on them, or grab them, whatever. It's not That's not the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's always Mando. In my opinion, it's always Mando. People gotta be held responsible, accountable, and responsible for what they decided to do, regardless of what the other underhand issues are that put them there. You know what I'm saying? To rise to that level, but I will say that some of these kids, some of these youngsters and these teenagers, these kids, the mouths that they got on them, man, they're so smart mouth. You know what I'm saying? And then it makes you wonder: this is how they talk to their parents? Most likely, yes. You know what I'm saying? The parents did a shitty job on teaching these kids how to be respectful, how to, when you're told something by an authoritarian position, at school, such as the staff, uh, at work, saying you can't just do what you want and say what you want. Saying the First Amendment don't work like that when it comes to those things. I don't know how many times I said this. Um, in that sense, the kids need to be held more accountable. because at this age, 14, 15, 16 years old, especially 16, 17 years old, you're getting close to adulthood where you should know right from wrong. But on top of that, the parents need to be held accountable as well, because this is what you're teaching your kids. This is what you're letting them get away with. You know what I'm saying? At home, is this how they talk to everybody because they're told something they don't like? And, it just makes you wonder, right? It makes you wonder. But that ain't always the case, man. There's some really good parents out there that have tried everything, but for whatever reason they can't level with the kid, kid or kids, and they're just little a holes. Simple as that. I don't know why they do what they do. I don't know if it's for a show to feel like they're important to others. They like to give others entertainment. I don't know what it is, but I've heard over my years. I've heard kids, as me being a kid as well back then, talk to their parents like they're oh man, like they're, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's very uncomfortable. It's very embarrassing for somebody to be around somebody that's talking to their parents like that. When you don't talk to your parents like that, it just gives you a really bad, like I'm out of place feeling. I guess the best way that I can explain it. And even to this day, I still hear guys talking to their mother like that. And these guys are like 30 years old now. Some of them even older than that. It's like their parent, got that coming. I don't know how to, I don't know no other way to try to explain it. But nonetheless, it's real. It says a lot about them. Put it that way. So I don't know. Let me read this. Let me read this article. See if it breaks down any further what happened here. So, okay, Las Vegas teacher released from jail after fist fight with student. The substitute teacher caught on video fighting a high schooler after a alleged racially charged comment is no longer in custody a day after his arrest. Kwonsmith, 27, faces charges including battery and assault on a student pupil stemming from an incident caught on cell phone video Thursday. The video does not show the interaction before the fight and instead begins as Smith and a high school throw punches and slap each other. Sources tell News Nation affiliate KLAS that the involved student used a racial slur during the initial interaction. Clark County School District police have not confirmed or denied this accusation. Again, I'm going to say this again. You're a professional, excuse me. If you're a nurse in a doctor's office, if you're a dentist hygienist, assisting the dentist, if you work for the police department, if you work for the fire department, if you work for AT&T, cable company, if you work for any of these things, you're supposed to conduct yourself as a professional, right? So, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what the kid told you, called you, told you. It shouldn't have got there. It shouldn't have went to that. For one, he's a kid, and if you can snap that fast, you don't belong around kids. Teaching, especially teenage kids. You know what I mean? So that makes no sense to me. Furthering, okay, so these are the things we're told. Like I said earlier, his three things: stipulations upon release, avoiding further arrests or citations. Remember earlier I said follow all laws. Okay, not returning to Valley High School, and the last one, having no contact with the involved student. Okay, Smith's family and Alzora Jackson, his attorney, declined to speak to the media after his afternoon court appearance. He's due back in court May 28th. As this investigation develops, contention remains in the school community about who is at fault in this fight. Kaylee Fox Miller, president of Nevada PTA, what's that stand for? PTA, Parents Teacher Association, is not yet pointing the finger at either side. You can have situations where everyone is wrong, Miller said during a virtual interview Friday afternoon. If it had been the teacher who was in this altercation, it would have been another student. Something was clearly going wrong. Her concerns extends to not enough de-escalation training among educators. And that goes about something too. What I say with some cops, they don't have enough de-escalation training either, and they're way more hands-on. With their title, with their job description. Um, Especially those with a handful of teaching experience. CCSD police confirmed Smith, who that's the substitute teacher, began working in the district in November 2023, only roughly 5 months ago. So he don't have too much experience, and he's already killing further opportunity for him to be a teacher at this point with what he pulled. This is not just a school problem. This is all of our problem. I think we all feel a little bit of failure from this, Miller said. I encourage CCSD to communicate with parents and teachers on how they're going to prevent this from happening again. Yep. Um, so, uh, it's unfortunate stuff like this happens. So he's only been working since November 2023. So November to December, 1 month. December, January, 2 months. January, February, 3 months. February, March, 4 months. March to April, 5 months. 5 months he's been working as a teacher, and he's already finding himself in a where he's been arrested. Um, it didn't say in the article if it was a felony or misdemeanor. Nonetheless, abusing a student pupil or whatever the charge was exactly, I forgot. Student here, I'll tell you because I don't want to. Student, I know it was something with student pupil. Um, Tell you right now, assault on a student pupil, that's going to be bad for his record going forward. Working with kids, working with, anybody, as an educator. Um, Even getting a job as a basketball coach, baseball coach, volleyball coach, soccer coach, any of those. Um, it's going to be a no-go bad. So, I mean, if they can get down to who, even though they said the student called him a racial slur, who started getting physical first? How did that happen? Because it doesn't show on the it doesn't show on the thing there. You know what I mean? It doesn't show on the cat. The student started videotaping after they already started scuffling. You know what I'm saying? So it's just another problem. It's just another issue that stems from in the schools with the teacher students and staff and students. Sometimes, and I think it's I mean, obviously they're adult, and you got to say, hey, you need to be the bigger person and disregard anything what they're saying to you. But that's sometimes very hard. It's very easy to be said and a lot difficult to actually do it. Um, but at the same time, why is that kid saying racial slurs? I mean, I don't want to hear, oh, it's my First Amendment, or it's my right to say whatever I want. I don't want to hear that crap. I mean, because that goes without saying, but what was said and how was it said? All those things come into play when there's altercations. You know what I'm saying? Even though legally they don't really hold water, you know, um, because they're gonna say that you should have called the police or something like that, and but I think morally, morally, they hold more water than other ways, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that out. Give me your feedback, guys. If you got anything, um, I don't care what it is. Let me know. All right. With that being said, Big Lou tapping out.